Hi. Okay. Morning, guys. It's actually a very good morning. We are here in Witsands. We're out on a fishing trip. We've got a team from Witsands and down here. We've got many new guys that want to come and see Witsands. So what we did was we put together a little trip that we could bring the guys out here to come and see what Witsands is all about. So of course the most important part of the day is breakfast. So before we do our footage of all our fishing, the whole fishing adventure as it happens over here, we're just going to show a simple breakfast. So it doesn't mean we kind of out in the bush that we cannot have a good breakfast, you know, something fit for kings. So we're just going to run through it. It's called the Spanish egg. It's my own personal recipe, and we're going to get moving on it quickly. So our simple ingredients is onions, tomatoes, our mixed spice. We've got some butter, we've got some chipolato sausages over here, whichever sauces of choice, and then of course our eggs, tomatoes, and we've got some tomato paste that we're going to be using for the quick recipe. As you can see possibly in the background, we have some of our one of our guys pitching up here at Shahid, and then of course the guys can just introduce themselves there. Brandon, Joshua. And behind the camera we've got Lance Thomas from Hook and Grill, and we've got Tashrik over here, we've got my wife Rukia, and of course the Hooked van in the background, and we've got Mr. Shahid himself here. So we're going to do a quick start. We don't want to make the video too long, so for demo purposes we've already pre-prepped many of the things. So first our onions is going to go in. Right, so in this recipe we don't want the onions too brown, we just need them a little bit translucent. Okay, so we're just going to give the onions a minute to do its thing. And in the meantime, while we're doing the onion, we've got two gas stoves here. And we've got little chipolatos. Small chipolato sausages that we're going to add onto this tank. Alright. We might as well just put them all in. Right, and that is going to do its thing over there. So Spanish egg, it's a little bit spicy, not strong, not hot spicy, just more tasty spicy. And this is roughly 1 onion. We've got about 8 to 10 guys that we're going to feed of this, hence the 1 onion. And what we're going to do is we're roughly going to put around about 8. We're going to try and squeeze about 10 eggs in there. So just to let you guys know, in the meantime, while this is doing its thing, we came into Witsands late yesterday afternoon. We just did some light tackle fishing over here, and one of the fish that we caught, unfortunately the camera wasn't close by, was a banded galjoen. It's out of season. It's also a species that's not caught every day, something rare. And the fish was successfully released. We measured the fish. It was just over 25 centimeters. And the fish was released successfully, which we're very, very happy for. So from here, the main idea is that we're just waiting for the water to drop, and we'll be doing some fishing on the ledges. Right, so like I said, we don't want the onions brown. We want them a little bit alive still, and we're just going to give that a couple of minutes over there. So in the meantime, like we said, we've got a lot of newbie guys that came into the hooker tackle shop wanting to get some idea about fishing in different places, and about 3 to 4 weeks ago we decided that what better place than Witsands alongside the Breede River, where we have a variety of species, from your das, your palmen, your elf, your pence and dirhams, your cob, grant in the river, leo fish in the river. So we're going to be doing a bit of those today as we go along, and we'll be documenting that all possibly on this video or another video to add onto it. These are taking a little bit long because we've got a slight wind. The wind was howling a bit when we got into Witsands yesterday, and by about past 11 last night the wind literally went and died down. Fishing, we fished out on Susie's. The water receded quite far back, and one of the guys caught a cob. It's roughly about a 3 centimeter cob. There is competitions happening here with other clubs as well. Sorry about that. It's roughly about a 3 kg cob under correction over there. So yeah, let's just see how far we are. On the onion side, Like I said, we don't want the onions brown here once again. So as soon as it's translucent, like it is now, we are now ready to throw our tomato. This recipe is literally not for braised brown onion. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw in our tomato. And we're going to give that his chance. I just need to add a little bit of water. Can somebody maybe just bring me a kettle for some water? And then we'll just add some water. Sorry about that. So we are in the Dana Park camp, if I'm not mistaken. Thank you, buddy. We're in the Dana Park camp, and we've opted to rather, thanks man, I don't want to put it on the table. We've opted to rather be in the campsite than to actually be in a house, where everything happens, the camaraderie. Some of the guys went and hired camping trailers, and everybody, we just decided to rough it out. Hence the breakfast. So despite the fact that we're roughing it out here, we're still having this breakfast fit for kings. So it's going a little bit slow. In the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to be adding our spice in here. As you can see, the spice is not too hectic. It's just spice for taste and not necessarily spice for making it strong or anything like that. So that needs to go, and at this point we can do our tomato paste. So because it's such a big pan, I'm just going to use a whole tube of tomato paste in here. So this now literally needs to simmer. And let's use this for the chapalak. Right. Getting there. Working our way both sides. I need a little bit more water here. Okay, getting there slowly but surely. So we just got the crew to, and this just needs to cook, and we are nearly done. Thank you. Yep, coffee old style, metal tin. Always tastes better at the beach. Right. So just to give you an idea, the van is fitted out with the fridge. Woo! The van's fitted out with the fridge. The van's fitted out with a bed. We have inverters, we have deep cycle batteries, and what normally happens is inside these vans, wherever we come and we rough it out, we sleep inside the vans. We've got inverters in there for toasters, and for some reason we were good enough or brilliant enough to forget our toast at home. So this meal got absolutely brilliant with toast, and we are almost there. We added salt that was part of the spice mix there earlier on, but what we're going to do is we're going to throw the eggs, and on top of that egg we're going to do a little bit of ground pepper, or at least normal black pepper, and we're going to add a bit of salt in there. So as you can see that our tomatoes now turned into a gravy, and that is more or less what we want. And then now you can see the idea behind the onions, that we just wanted the onions a little bit translucent and not brown. All right, and let's get to the eggs. Trying my utmost not to break the yellow on the eggs. And there we go. And that needs to do its thing. Sure, we add some black pepper somewhere. Black pepper. Okay. Our sausages are doing their thing. What's it? Oh yeah, so just to give you an idea, so at Witsands Cast and Drone, we're always coming up with something new and new innovation. So in this trip it was mainly the guys that's out here, and what we did was, because it's a learning curve for a lot of our new guys to come and experience what Witsands is about, and of course the fact that I myself haven't been here for a while, so these type of trips are something we'd like to do as often as possible. It's not trips that we're chartering. It's basically, what's nice about it is the camaraderie, where we're basically just covering the cost of the trip. So whatever the campsite costs us, whatever it is in terms of meals and baits and things like that, we all just chip together and keep the cost down for the guys. And next month, as the Muslim people start preparing for fast in early April, we'd like to do one more trip away from home, whereby we would like to invite the guys to come along and have a family day. So the beauty about this trip is that out of the 10-12 guys that's here, the guys don't really know each other that well, and on this trip they got to know each other. It was either a hi and goodbye as they met each other out in the Witsands shop, and of course every now and then when we were out on the beach doing either droning or just a fishing session. So we are now planning a family day out, whereby we'd like to hire a campsite where the guys can bring along their wives and kids or partners, and we can have a whole gathering of socializing and fishing, so that they can also see what it's about and what the guys do when we are actually out on our fishing trip. And these type of moments where we do this breakfast together is what it's all about. So what I really needed here was a lid to go over this, so that the eggs can poach from the top. And let me just find out if we have a big lid that can go over here. Anybody? How about that big pot lid over there? Can somebody hand that lid maybe? And that's just so that the eggs can literally cook. Not gonna work. Okay, let's just make it work. So basically all we want is that eggs to kind of cook into with the heat of the gravy. So back to the fact that we'd like to do a family day. We're either going to do Witsands again, so the guys can come and whatever it is that they've learned or figured out or adventured to here in Witsands, that they can come and put that into practice again. Alternatively, we'll do a place like Arneson. So that's going to be a family day where they're allowed to bring, or at least they can bring their wives along, their kids along, and we'll see what activities we can have for them. And yeah, and maybe the women can get involved with a bit of fishing, light tackle, anything of the sort. Our sausages are nearly done. Our eggs are nearly done, and we're nearly ready to do our breakfast. So there's a lot of activity in the campsite. Like we said, there are some social angling clubs out here that is doing a fishing competition, and I think there's another provincial club, angling club, that's also got a comp out in Witsands. And so yeah, it's quite a hive of activity inside Witsands. Let's just have a look. Our eggs are looking amazing, right? And we're gonna start prepping to plate. So I'm just thinking that when we're out in the wild, our fishing scissors, something we should have done prior to putting the sausages in. This is a braid scissors out of the tackle box. Extra flavor, you're right, yeah. So we still have some of the team that wasn't on video. They were fishing all night at Susie's. Sorry? Whoopee! And I do believe our eggs are done. And we're just gonna put the lid down on the ground. We made a bit of a boo-boo here. Right, eggs are done. Sausages are basically done. And now we're gonna get ready to play. So basically, the Spanish egg is something that I figured out one morning. I was watching something the evening prior to that, and they made the type of tomato salsa with additional sides that was actually a supper meal. And I figured out, why can't we do it for breakfast and just add the eggs on top? So breakfast being the most important part of the day, that is basically what your Spanish egg looks like. And let's take this over here. Our sausages are basically prepped. I think our bread lady missed the bus this morning. And that can do its thing. So there we have it.